Any minute now, the electrician will be here just to bring everybody up to speed as to what's going on. A year ago, I did some work on the property where I had some more trees cleared from the property and was working on having the front of the property graded. I knew that I need to have some locates done at that point. And what we found is that right here behind me in the circular drive leading up to the bunkhouse, that there was a fault in the line, the electrical line running to the bunkhouse itself. So as you can see, the power line is running right across the driveway here and going up into the bunkhouse. The issue that I have is right here. The power line here is only about 5 inches deep, and if it's going to fault, it's going to fault right there. And the other thing is that where it's coming into the bunkhouse, right there on the cable itself is indoor tape on this hot wire. So all of that needs to be repaired. And so I called out an electrician who's going to run a trench from the main cabin all the way to the bunkhouse and run a new line. He's going to put in a new electrical panel in the bunkhouse and get that brought up to speed so that it can power any modern conveniences that I might put in there, such as a microwave. There's already a television in there, things like that, anything that my guests would need to be comfortable. And then in the main cabin itself, the electrical panel is just hanging from the middle of the ceiling in the cellar, and it really should be up against a wall out of the way. And so he's going to move that for me. I have some live wires in there that he's going to take care of for me so that I don't have the potential of a house fire, because that's the last thing that I would want, anybody would want. And so with all that being said, I'm going to be able to make sure that my cabin is safe, because right now it is not. The way the main line is running from the cabin to the bunkhouse behind me also has a fault, or has the potential for having a fault because of the way it was run originally. Also, that main line is only a few inches below ground, and it really should be about 3 feet or greater underground. So he's going to take care of all of that for me today. And also, see that power pole right there? Off of that power pole, I have enough electricity coming in that I could power up to 50 homes on my property if I needed to. Now, I'm not doing that. I've said before, I'm not interested in turning this into a commune or an RV park or even an Airbnb. But it's nice to know that I have all the electricity right there at my fingertips should I need it in the future. Poor Kenai's locked in the dog run so that he has a little bit of shade, and so he doesn't jump on the guys while they're here. So all this wood I stacked, I gotta move it stick by stick because they need more room over here than I left them. I kind of feel bad for the guys because it is so hot out here today. I'm not exactly sure what the temperature is. I think it's about 75, but it feels more like it's about 105 out here right now. It is miserably hot, even with the breeze that is going on. So they have stopped for tonight, and this is about how far they've made it. Now, the guys did arrive late in the afternoon because they got tied up on another job. So they didn't quite get as far as I thought they would today, but that's fine. I decided to take some measurements to see how far down they had trenched. And right up against the bunkhouse, it appears to be right about 42 inches in depth. So very happy to see that. As I continued down, I realized that my folding ruler, or carpenter's rule, had a little issue in it, in the fact that it was misnumbered, and I thought that was kind of funny. So tomorrow I'll come back with a tape measure as opposed to using this carpenter's rule. Always got to be aware of what you're buying when you shop at garage sales, I guess. Bright and early the next morning, they were back at it, trenching again from the bunkhouse all the way to the cabin. By them getting this piece done, it'll allow me to get the rest of the driveway work that I need to get done. I've mentioned in the last couple of years about how the front of the properties had some flooding going on, and I plan to alleviate that by putting down some rock in the driveway. And so the cable itself, when it gets set into there, only needs to be about 36 inches down. But here you can see that they have gone down about 42 inches, and that will allow my next contractor to come in and shave off a little bit and slope the ground where it needs to be without running a risk of bringing that cable too close to the surface. So once the trench was finished being dug, then they went ahead and spooled that cable all the way to the bunkhouse, and then began to prepare new openings for the cable to go into both buildings. Previously, the cable, as you can see by that red mark right there, that's where the cable previously set, and it was not housed in any conduit and had the potential to be sheared should there have been any vibration from an earthquake or something else that could have possibly cut the coaxial part of the cable and thereby causing another fault. So once he got into the main part of the cabin and pulled that through, what I don't show you here is that they did actually run that through the floor joists themselves, and then back through some conduit inside the cabin also. At the bunkhouse, I misspoke earlier when I said that they would be replacing the breaker box. Instead of replacing the entire breaker box, they just added a 30 amp circuit so that I could power whatever I need to without worrying about overloading the previous circuits that were in the breaker box.
Would be more expensive. And you'd have to have a main breaker. So this is the correct way to do it.
So once the cable had been pulled through, then they just began to backfill the trench. And something that I don't show here is they compacted all of this loose soil with the tires and the blade of their little mini excavator here, their little Bobcat, by driving over it several times, back and forth they went, and to help compact it so that hopefully I don't have a whole lot of sinking in that line between now and the next year. But again, that will be driven over again by a bulldozer as they come through and lay the new rock in the driveway. So now back inside the main cabin, he's just going ahead and disconnecting the old breaker box, pulling out all those wires, and moving the existing breaker box to a new location that is more tucked away and secure inside of the cellar. But this is only temporary. Where it's going to sit is permanent. However, I'm upgrading this breaker box so that I have the option of adding a kill switch for a whole home generator should I need to. At this moment, I'm not looking to get a whole home generator in the near future, but someday I might change my mind and decide to add one. And so I wanted to make sure that while I was having the work done now, that I had everything done in the event that I changed my mind down the road. And they made really quick work of this. Yes, this is a time lapse, but nonetheless, it didn't take them very long to get to this point. And one of the other things that they did for me while they were here is they added a couple new outlets to the cellar, because previously I only had one 4-port outlet down here. So they added this 2-port. Oh, I'm sorry. The previous outlet was only 2 ports itself. And they added an additional 4-port outlet for me. So now I can plug in whatever I need to in the cellar. I apologize if this video is a little shorter than you're used to, a little less edited than I normally put out. However, I am hastily getting ready for my friend to arrive, and she'll be here for about a month. However, make sure you're subscribed and turn on bell notifications so that once I am back at it posting again, you can be alerted to when those videos come out, because I have lots going on this summer. So not only will I post a video showing you all the amazing things that my friend and I got to experience while she was here, but also I have a contractor coming out to work on the bathroom starting in the beginning of August. And I have more work that'll be taking place around the outside of the property here over the next month. So be sure to have those bell notifications turned on so that you can join me for all of my adventures. Whether you've contributed through a YouTube membership, Patreon, PayPal, or you've donated to the channel in other ways, your support means a lot to me. So with that being said, that concludes today's video. I want to thank you for watching and joining me today. As always, stay safe and take care until the next time, and I'll see you then.